Y the Last Man is a graphic novel set in a world where every living being with a Y chromosome is mysteriously died, with the exception of one man, Yorick Brown, and his male capuchin monkey, Ampersand. The story was written by Brian K. Vaughan. It was penciled by Pia Guerrera, Goran Suzuka, and Paul Chadwick. It was inked by Jose Marzan Jr. It was published by Vertigo and DC Black Label. The first book in the series, Unmanned, is 246 pages. The story follows Yorick, the son of a senator and a college professor, a man in his 20s who lacks all drive or passion outside of his desire to be an escape artist and a magician, although he'll call himself an illusionist. Yorick simply wants to reunite with his girlfriend, who's in Australia when the epidemic hit. And unfortunately for him, his existence as the only surviving man and the fate of the entire world is resting on his shoulders makes his life more important than his relationship status. When a single moment kills every single man on Earth, society is launched into chaos. The story's first act introduces us to a few of these scenarios. Hidden behind a gas mask with Ampersand safely in an animal carrier, Yorick makes his way to Washington, D.C. in the hopes of finding his mother, the senator, still alive. Once he's reunited with his mother at the White House, he learns that the world is in turmoil as women battle each other for control over a new society. Act 1 ends on page 85, as Yorick and government agent 355 are sent to find a doctor who might have the answers that everyone is looking for. During Act 2, Yorick and 355 attempt to travel from DC to Boston without exposing Yorick's secret or getting either of them killed. A deadly gang of women known as the Amazons will stop at nothing to gain control in this new world. When word gets out that there is a surviving man, the Amazons make it their mission to hunt him down and kill him. Yorick and 355 are able to find Dr. Mann, and the three of them set out for answers. Along the way, the Amazons remain close to their tails. Hell-bent on catching this mysterious man, the leader of the Amazons is a radical feminist who uses her following's starvation and vulnerability to brainwash them into violence and murder in the name of ending the patriarchy once and for all. Along the way, one of the Amazonians rises in the ranks. She loses herself and her humanity along the way. This woman is Hero, Yorick's sister. Act 2 ends as Yorick, 355, and Dr. Mann have found a small patch of utopia in Marysville, Ohio. Women are peacefully running a community with food and electricity without savagery that they have encountered in larger cities. Yorick even finds himself being drawn to an attractive woman and quickly falling in love with her, briefly forgetting his girlfriend on the other side of the world. It's in this escape from the madness that the Amazons, and specifically Hero, finally catch up with Yorick and his crew. Act 3 begins on page 201 as Yorick and Hero finally meet up face to face. Y the Last Man does fit the story model, as Act 1 tells a quarter of the story, Act 2 tells about half, building on the conflict, and the third act is brief, bringing a conclusion to the narrative. Act 2 builds on Yorick's reluctant goal of helping to save humanity and all of mankind. Yorick's arc sees him transform from a selfish and immature man to one who understands the importance of his existence, or is at least beginning to, that he wants to. The story uses splash pages to demonstrate definitive transitions. They also use action-to-action transitions. As most of Y the Last Man is an action-packed and often violent story, these transitions work very well with the flow of the story. I found myself getting lost in the narrative. The creative team behind Y the Last Man does a great job using the page as a mini comic, because the pages are often left with close-ups and one-liners or dramatic turns in the story, encouraging the reader to resist putting the book down and to just continue turning pages till you finish the whole thing. I found that they made excellent use of the directional flow. I never found myself questioning who was speaking or in what order they were delivering the message. It was all very clearly laid out. And I would definitely recommend Y the Last Man. I think it's a fantastic premise, and I enjoyed the execution. As a fellow student, I think that you would appreciate the artistry and the choices made. As for my friends, I would definitely recommend it simply because I surround myself with raging feminists, and I think it's important to remember that men aren't the enemy, the patriarchy is. And for a fun fact, the show was the graphic novel was actually produced as a show for FX in 2021, starring Diane Lane and Amber Tamblyn. Unfortunately, it only lasted one season. There is a trailer for it available on YouTube, but I have not been able to find it streaming anywhere. I really enjoyed this book, and I would like to pursue finishing the series. And I wish that I could find the show somewhere because I would enjoy watching that as well. Thank you very much.